Okay, so if we look at the setups on these two now, you can see quite a big difference there. Now again, even though that's probably as wide as we'd ever let you go, doesn't look exactly, yeah. And again, when you look at yourself, when you actually get yourself into position, I would still say if we take a line down from the edge of your left shoulder, yeah, you're still leaning on that left side with your chest probably facing a bit more towards your right foot. So you're kind of still in this sort of position here, as opposed to being that way. And this, again, sometimes real and feel are often different, okay? So it does take a bit of practice getting used to that. Sometimes a reflection in the mirror is going to be a good thing. Just stand there and say, okay, do I get my head behind the golf ball? The hands are in front nicely. Hands could go, I would say for you, what you need to do is probably move your head to about there. Yeah. And then the golf ball needs to be about there, which then would still be behind the hands but in front of the head, yeah? And that's sort of slightly more lowercase y, reverse k, whatever you want to say, okay? In terms of the backswing, obviously, previously when they had the stance so narrow, the lower half was really collapsing. Couldn't really make much, okay? This one here now, as we go back, even though your knee goes a little bit, you look a bit more stable there. Is there a bit more leg room than we need? Is there a bit more shoulder turn than we need? Probably. Is that you just trying to send it a long way? Possibly. I would like to resist that a little bit. But at the moment now, we've got a bit more of a base to work from. We can stabilise that. And that's a massive shoulder turn, that.
Yeah, it's kind of come from just letting I'm trying to turn based on just flinging the hip.
Yeah, don't try and
body mechanics.
I would think for you, and there are some people who do different. I would say for you, you've got to focus on that joint there. This is going to follow that one. This will follow that, and then this will follow that. Right. If you try and fling that one first, everything now is going to doing, and that's what you're seeing. Then you're kind of going that too much. And you just see your right side of your shoulder and your hip doing a little bit more rather than just the hip. Yeah,
that's what I'm using as the trigger.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing that to bring everything
and that's
around.
why your legs get quite leggy, should we say. I would say let the hips follow the shoulders for you, because your shoulders go back as far as they can. I don't think you'd be getting that far. I mean, okay, and still in terms of the movement, you still look a lot more stable. Back into impact now. Yes, the hands are nicely in front, the head's behind better, yeah? The leg is now starting to look a little bit more leaning forward, yeah, from where it was. If we look at that impact position to that one, I mean, I clear the lines off this so you can see a bit clearer. At least that one now, that looks like you're a bit more on that side, doesn't it? Yeah. Everything's leaning that way, you're going into the golf ball that way. This one now still looks very much sort of like you're on the same, and you never really get your legs to position until then about now, which it might seem a lot longer after shot, but that's actually happening so quickly. But at least from this right hand one now, can we finish in balance? Yeah, and that's the key thing, okay? I think you've got to used to make some practice swings. As you can see here now, making some practice swings where you're just trying to strike the ground. Good impact position you're getting into there, okay? Let that club hit the ground. Make sure you have one practice swing where you hit the ground. If you miss it, make the next one almost feel like it's just loose and heavy, and so it drops in the ground more than you'd expect, okay? Just make sure that club is hitting the ground, and then it's when you're hitting the ground, your body movement, which will be a lot easier once you've got a base to swing from. If you're here trying to move your body now, you just fear falling over, you go, nope, I'm just going to keep that there and sort of solid kind of thing. Yeah. And therefore, you're focused more so now on this. Yeah, cool. And that's the thing. The way to look at it is like, from this position, everything above that blue line is pretty good. Yeah, there's a nice, decent shoulder. There's a bit more than we want. You've got a nice width of arms there in terms of where you're taking the hands away from your head. Got a nice wrist hinge. Oh, that's good. But the lower half, everything down in this sort of box down here is not supporting that. So it's like playing, you have the best up front football players in the world, but you've got no goalkeeper. Yeah, you might score 6 goals, but you're going to concede 10. So your lower half's not really helping, and that's where the inconsistency, as you say, is going to come from. And that's why I say at the moment now you're probably in that 103 to 110 mark, as opposed to, I would say, really mid 90s. Yeah, you hit it good enough as a guy who shoots mid to low 90s. But you hit it bad enough to hit a guy, someone who shoots 110, 115, 120, because that lower half's just not supporting your swing. And because you've got a lot of club head speed, you generate a lot of energy, you need to have something to support it, yeah? If you're falling over, as you're coming back in the golf ball now on this one, your main focus now is, right, how can I get myself back to standing up? You get your legs back to where they needed to be there, but then the top half now is trying to rotate, and the legs just aren't doing anything for you, yeah? And if they've been tired from the run today, they're doing even less, aren't they?
It's week 6, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're getting there, mate. Exactly. Yeah, I've been seeing on your Facebook. You've been doing very well, to be fair. So keep at it. It's good. Right. But yeah, it's having that support around this to allow the top half to do it. But I would focus more on what that right shoulder's doing rather than the right hip. Yeah. Okay, mate. I'll have a few more then, and again, good practice swing. Hit the mat. Don't then just go straight into the next one. If the mat is missed, and think, oh well, the ball's in the way now, it's going to be better. Chances are it's not going to improve, is it? Yeah. So make it a good strike of the mat. Good lower half move, and again, even feel a little bit more further forward than you think, and shoulders everything facing a bit more toward. Your chest is facing back towards your golf bag, I suppose, in some ways a bit more. Yeah, okay, mate. Good full turn back. Feel the club striking the mat, and finishing through into balance. Nice, very good, mate.